Hey, this is Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. I'm here with the HS Customs Under Pressure. This is now available due to the Fast and Furious event to be purchased for gold. Remember, this is a milestone car that came along like 3 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago, and it has never been available for anything other than gold keys, I believe, at one point, and then now it's available for gold. So it's come down a long way from where it started. Is this car worth it? Let's talk about that. I'm going to try to give you as much information as possible based on what I know of this car so you can make an informed decision if it's worth 4,000 gold to you. I am assuming you're a newer player that has not had the chance to acquire this car otherwise, or you wouldn't be watching this. But if you are watching this, let's talk about the strengths and weaknesses of this car and some of the issues you're going to face even if you spend 4,000 gold. First thing first, the Under Pressure is the original gangster of Dyno Busters. When this car came out, the only other T5 that would bust dyno as bad as this, or as much as this I should say, is the GTX Plymouth, which was at the time the Fast and Furious beast that was the fastest car in the game. Now that car cost people up to $500. Yes, you heard me, $500 to max at the time. This came as a milestone car, so it was free to acquire, but it wasn't necessarily easy to build. Well, just how much does this car beat dyno by? Well, let's take a look. Here, I'm going to put this car simply to stage 5 for this demonstration, but understand that it actually has the same, if not greater, margin of dyno busting fully maxed. The optimal run of this car always is with the dyno busting tune. Interestingly, it's not always better to have this car at max evo, which can be right around here. Okay, you're talking 9.607, but just by knocking out, oh wait, I'm sorry, it's even better than that. Did I forget to take off a stage 6? I think I forgot a stage 6. Let me go look at this again. Hold on. If you have only stage 5, this car is definitely not bad. It's pretty quick. It is not up. There it is. I knew I forgot one of the major stage 6s. Now, with these two stage 6s, you're looking at 8.9 times. But with just stage 5 only, it's not quite that fast. It's more like a 10-second car. Okay, so T5s back in those days don't come out of the box at stage 5 only running 8.9s or 7.8s like they do nowadays with some of these cars. Most of these were definitely looking at like high 9s and possibly low 10s for most of the T5s back then. So this is one of those back then type cars. This is an original gangster car, if you want to think of it that way. Is it good? Well, see that? Look at this. Boom. 600 Evo drop. We all know from my other videos that if you get a big Evo drop, you're getting a dyno buster, right? I use that for supply cup tunes all the time. 9.839, but this is full fusion, to 10.9. So you're running from 9.9 to 10.9. This car beats dyno by a full second on one click, just like that. Bang, 1 second. Is that a good thing? Wise people used to tell you, do not bet money against Under Pressure in live. Chances are you will lose your money. But that has kind of changed with all the new matchmaking adjustments Natural Motion has done to make this car not as viable, because by beating dyno like this by this much, you're going to kill this car. And quite frankly, I think most people that own the Under Pressure more or less killed it in the last 2 years or 3 years, no matter what. Because it's hard to control the car. It's too easy to get excited and just, you know, outrun dyno by a full second while you're laughing at the other guy on a 200,000 bet. But soon you find that your car's no longer viable in live and it gets pushed back into the garage where it sits and collects dust. And that's happened to the best of us. So that's the positive and negative of the dyno busting, okay? And I didn't do a great run there. I could do better. But generally, you can get your 9.9, 9.8 run out of this car with basically a down tune. So it's a massive down tune car that has the potential to be very good, but it is also very hard to control due to the fact that it beats dyno by so much. Okay, so what about Tempest, right? Most new players evaluating T5 cars always think about Tempest. Tempest 3, Tempest 2. Is this car good for it? Absolutely. But it needs fusions and it needs stage 6s, neither of which you get with your 4,000 gold, and neither of which will come easily even after you spend your 4,000 gold. If you want to go look in your inventory and just take a look at your Chevy Fusions and your stage 6s, if you happen to have, say, nitrous, body, and let's say trans, okay, if you have these three, you'll be pretty well off. Now, if you are more interested in the specifics of the stage 6s, I've done a stage 6 effects video on this card. Look that up, watch that video, and you'll get the full breakdown of stage 6 effects. But regardless, this car is quick with the stage 6s. 3 stage 6 will put you, with the body being big, 3 stage 6 will put you at 8.5. That'll destroy Harkness. The car accelerates ridiculously quick too. Notice 0 to 60, 0 to 100 is very, very quick. Very high top speed in the half mile for Tempest purposes. In fact, I used this car for Tempest 3 on my main account, even though I used a different car for a secondary account just to kind of figure out the differences. But I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, because it's been years, that it was a breeze. I mean, I just breezed through it. Only thing about thinking about this car otherwise as a new player comes back to fusions. Chevy Fusions you cannot get like some other brands. You have to essentially get it from crates, events, and just random pulls with keys. You're not going to be able to acquire this anywhere from any other car in the dealership because none of them are for sale for money. So even though, yes, you can max out a under pressure, I don't think I maxed this car out until at least a year and a half later almost, when this is used in other events where you can get chances to pull crates for final parts. Plus, on my new account, I have yet to max a T3 Camaro, okay, much less a T5 that requires you to have 128 Chevy Fusions. So your 4,000 gold may be a good investment in your eyes, but you got to think, how long before I can actually get this car to the level where it's going to be competitive and useful? It may be quite a while. So keep that in mind. Is it worth getting? That is the part where it's up to you. I think it's a great car, but have I used it a whole lot? No. Okay, it's only got 390 miles on it. So it's obviously not a car that I burned thousands of miles on in like 4 years or 3 years or whatever it is I've had it for. So you got to think, it's not a car that is easy to build. It is not a car that will be very useful all around forever in everything. So it's something to really kind of weigh into your decision. Are you willing to either wait or find ways to try to get enough fusions to get this car built up? And stage 6s again will come hard. However, if you have a chance to lock this car in somehow in Fast and Furious, obviously you'll be able to get some fusions and stage 6s through the crates in that case. Alright, so ultimately this is a 7.7 car that dyno's 8.9 when it does 7.7s. So it's a crazy car in that sense, but whether it's worth your 4,000 gold, that ends up being a very personal choice. I personally really like these old school Camaros. I probably would get it on my new account just to have it and kind of leave it sitting for quite a while, because I don't foresee myself being able to build this on a newer account anytime soon. Alright, so that is just a little quick informational session about this under pressure Camaro. If you are interested in more specifics, again, I have a stage 6 effects video on this, and I will go ahead and take a quick run in live for you to kind of give you an idea what kind of opponents you run into. So I'm at 9.4. Here's 8.5. Okay, now this car might already be bumped, so we'll just take 1 or 2 runs in live just to see. The way I usually try to control this car is just not using nitrous because it's so fast and runs so much under dyno. Using nitrous doesn't. It just makes it too hard to even have any control over it as far as what it runs in time wise. But again, you know, a smart man does not bet money against the under pressure. Okay, so keep that in mind. And it doesn't matter what the other guy's running unless he's going to be beating dyno by a second. If you guys both push it, you just both end up killing your cars. So the under pressure is one of those cars that, you know, if you have self-control and you have the ability to control the car well, it's quite a good car. If you're somebody who likes to run all out, may not be the best car for you. Okay, so I'm just kind of pushing it. Oh, he beat me by a lot. How about that? Maybe I should have used nitrous. Let's see what he ran so I know what lobby I'm in. 9.3. I believe my dyno's a 9.5. Let me go ahead and use nitrous so I can get a win out of this. But that's the thing with this card. I didn't use nitrous thinking I shouldn't need it, but I guess my tune is a little off on that, so I probably will need it. So I'm just going to use nitrous this time and try to win. Okay, so with nitrous, I am going to jump way ahead, and then I have to slow down. Whoop, got it pretty close. And there it is. That should be a 9.1 run, I think. Oh, 9.365. So, well, I guess he gave it to me or he had a bad shift pattern going on that run. So, right there, 9.3, 9.4. Again, it's pretty easy to win with when you know you can run 8.5, 8.6 on a 9.5 dyno, but it does not have a favorable lobby. Therefore, opponents with better setups, in a sense, with higher evo setups, may end up actually lobbying at 9.3, and you know you're going to push this car out of the competitive lobby sooner or later, just because the way it is. But is it a winnable car? Absolutely. Would I ever bet money against an under pressure? Never. You know, I know enough about this car to never raise a bet against it. If I see somebody raising me a bet with an under pressure, I just go, yeah, you can have it. No thanks. Okay. All right, here we go. One more run. Again, I'm going to have to all right, that's going to hurt. This will affect my ability to run under dyno, but I can still run dyno, which is fine because that will mean I can still possibly win. But yeah, that RPM drop is kind of the issue there, but I still run pretty good. I'm running well under dyno, though. This is going to bump me in another race or two, so I'm going to call it here. But as you can see, for a while at least, it is a very usable. All right, he challenged me. I'm going to have to do this. No, he left. Okay, then I don't have to do this. I was going to do Camaro versus Camaro. It would be interesting. I think he was trying to challenge himself and clicked me by accident is what it is. All right, well, let's go back to lobby. Let's look at dyno one last time. But there's that little quick demo in live with the under pressure. I think as you get more upgrades of certain stage 6s, you can avoid using nitrous altogether to run closer to dyno. So regardless, it's a beast of a car if you can get it built and if you can control it, and that becomes your final decision whether it's worth 4,000 gold plus the headache of building it to you. All right, well, thank you for joining me for this video. Let me know what you think about this car, or if you have any questions. What little I know, I'll be happy to share. As always, leave a like if you like the video, subscribe if you want notifications, and thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time.